Pete the Cat, Old MacDonald Had a Farm by James Dean. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some chickens, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck-cluck here and a cluck-cluck there, here a cluck, there a cluck, everywhere a cluck-cluck. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some dogs, E-I-E-I-O, with a woof woof here and a woof woof there, here a woof, there a woof, everywhere a woof woof. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some cows, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some pigs, E-I-E-I-O, with an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some horses, E-I-E-I-O, with a neigh-neigh here and a neigh-neigh there, here a neigh, there a neigh, everywhere a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some cats, E-I-E-I-O, with a meow meow here and a meow meow there, here a meow, there a meow, everywhere a meow meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some goats, E-I-E-I-O, with a ba-ba here and a ba-ba there, here a ba, there a ba, everywhere a ba-ba. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some ducks, E-I-E-I-O, with a quack quack here and a quack quack there, here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack quack. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some turkeys, E-I-E-I-O, with a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there, here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some roosters, E-I-E-I-O, with a cock-a-doodle-doo here and a cock-a-doodle-doo there, here a cock-a-doodle-doo, there a cock-a-doodle-doo, everywhere a cock-a-doodle-doo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some donkeys, E-I-E-I-O, with a hee-haw here and a hee-haw there, here a hee-haw, there a hee-haw, everywhere a hee-haw. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a ma-ma here and a ma-ma there, here a ma, there a ma, everywhere a ma-ma. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some frogs, E-I-E-I-O, with a ribbit here and a ribbit there, here a ribbit, there a ribbit, everywhere a ribbit. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some geese, E-I-E-I-O, with a honk honk here and a honk honk there, here a honk, there a honk, everywhere a honk honk. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Pete the Cat, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, by James Dean. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night. Then the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go if you did not twinkle so. In the dark blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep. For you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. As your bright and tiny spark lights the traveler in the dark. Though I know not what you are, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. How I wonder what you are. Pete the Cat, Big Easter Adventure by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete was so excited. Easter was here. He couldn't wait for his basket of goodies. Jelly beans were his favorite. Uh-oh, his basket was empty, except for a note. Pete, please help. Find the eggs, paint the eggs, hide the eggs. Thanks, the Easter Bunny. P.S. Wear these. Pete put on the bunny ears and thought, a cat with ears like a bunny? Now that's funny. Happy Easter, chickens! Do you have any eggs today? Pete asked. I am helping the Easter Bunny. Sure, Pete, we have a lot of eggs, the chicken said. We are happy to help, but don't you need a bunny nose and a fluffy bunny tail? The chickens were right. A bunny nose and tail would be neat. Then Pete's costume would be complete. Pete put on the nose and tail like a bunny's. A cat dressed up like a bunny? Now that's funny. Now Pete was ready. It was getting late, and he still had a lot of eggs to decorate. What colors would Pete use? Hop, hop, hop. Off to the tool shed for paint and brushes. Pete couldn't wait to paint the eggs. Some eggs had one color, some eggs had two, some eggs were red, and some eggs were blue. When the egg painting was done, Pete had a basket full of bright, colorful, amazing eggs. Now, hiding them would be lots of fun. But where, oh where, would Pete hide the eggs? Around the neighborhood for all his friends to find. Pete hid eggs in flower pots. He hid them in the water spout. And when he was done hiding the eggs, Pete the cat was all worn out. Helping others out is what Easter is all about, Pete said. Pete's job was done. He was hiding the last one when the Easter bunny arrived. Great job, Pete. You were a big help, said the Easter bunny. The Easter bunny gave Pete an award for a job well done. Helping others can be lots of fun. Happy Easter, everybody! Pete the Cat, The Great Leprechaun Chase by James Dean. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and Pete's teacher, Mr. G, is teaching about leprechauns. The only time you can catch one is on St. Patrick's Day. A leprechaun will bring you good luck, Mr. G says. Now, everyone in the class wants a leprechaun. Pete gets a great idea. He will open a leprechaun catching business. St. Patrick's Day comes, and Pete gathers some supplies. He hangs a sign above his stand. This will be easy, Pete thinks. Squirrel is Pete's first customer. I want a leprechaun, Squirrel says. I need good luck for my test. Cool, I'm on it, says Pete. Pete has a plan. He will follow a rainbow until he finds a leprechaun. Finally, Pete arrives at the end of the rainbow and finds Clover the leprechaun next to a pot of gold. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Swoosh! But Clover is too fast. Did you think you'd be catching me so easily? He asks. Once there was a cat named Pete who thought nabbing some luck would be neat. Then he happened upon a smart leprechaun who he'll find quite tricky to beat. Clover disappears in a puff of green smoke. Pete will need a new plan. That afternoon, Gus visits Pete's lucky leprechaun catchers. I want a leprechaun, Gus says. I need good luck for my band recital. Pete says, I'll see what I can do. Pete plans to lure Clover out with his music. He plays a jaunty song on his guitar. Before long, Clover dances over to Pete. Just a little closer, Pete thinks. Suddenly, Clover starts spinning around Pete. Round and round, Clover goes faster and faster. Oh no! Clover wraps up Pete with a rope. Pete has finally met his match, a crafty leprechaun he just can't catch. He'll never win, he better give in, or find something else to snatch. That evening, Callie visits Pete's lucky leprechaun catchers. I want a leprechaun, Callie says. I need good luck for my tennis match. Says Pete. St. Patrick's Day is almost over. There isn't much time left to catch a leprechaun. But Pete won't give up yet. Pete sets a trap for Clover. Before long, Clover tiptoes up to the trap and sniffs the air. I love candy, he whispers, peering under the box. Pete waits very quietly. Crash! Pete rushes over and checks underneath the trap, but it is empty. Clover skips away. Pete has tried many a plot, but still I haven't been caught. And isn't it dandy, I even got candy, while Pete ends up with squat. Pete has an idea. He follows the trail of spilled candy to Clover's secret hideout. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Swoosh! Pete finally catches Clover. Why do you want me? Clover asks. I'm helping my friends who need some extra luck, Pete says. Luck doesn't come from having a leprechaun, says Clover. You and your friends have each other. That's already makes you as lucky as can be. Could Clover be right? Pete is one very lucky cat. A lucky cat doesn't need a lucky leprechaun. He lets Clover go. Pete decides he will be the good luck his friends need by helping them out himself. Pete helps Squirrel study for his test. Squirrel aces it. Pete helps Gus rehearse for the recital. Gus rocks it. Pete helps Callie practice for her match. Callie wins it. Clover magically appears. Good job, Pete, says Clover. I have one more poem for ye. While Clover played hide and seek, Pete learned something unique. The luck that you make beats luck that you take any old day of the week. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Pete the Cat Rocking in My School's Shoes. Art by James Dean, creator of Pete the Cat. Story by Eric Litwin. Here comes Pete, strolling down the street, rocking red shoes on his 4 furry feet. Pete is going to school, and he sings this song. I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. Pete is sitting at his desk when his teacher says, "Come on, Pete, down that hall to a room with books on every wall." Where is Pete going? The library. Pete has never been to the library before. Does Pete worry? Goodness no! He finds his favorite book and sings his song. I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. Check out Pete. He's ready to eat in a big noisy room with tables and seats. Where is Pete? The lunchroom. It can be loud and busy in the lunchroom. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He sits down with his friends and sings his song. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. Pete and his friends are playing outside on a green, grassy field with swings and tall slides. Where is Pete? The playground. Kids are running in every direction. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He slides and he swings and he sings his song. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. All day long, Pete sings his song. I'm singing in my school shoes. I'm painting in my school shoes. I'm adding in my school shoes. I'm writing in my school shoes. When school is done, Pete rides the bus home. Pete's mom asks him, "What did you do at school today?" And Pete says, I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. And I will do it again tomorrow. Because it's all good. Pete the Cat, I love my white shoes. Art by James Dean, creator of Pete the Cat. Story by Eric Litwin. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Red. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song. Everything is cool. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. Oh no, Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Blue. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Awesome. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. Oh no, Pete stepped in a large puddle of mud. What color did it turn his shoes? Brown. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Groovy. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. Oh no! Pete stepped in a bucket of water, and all the brown and all the blue and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again? White! But now they were wet. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song, rock and roll. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song. Because it's all good. Pete the Cat and His Magic Sunglasses by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete the Cat did not feel happy. Pete had never, ever, ever, ever been grumpy before. Pete had the blue cat blues. Then, as if things were not bad enough, along came Grumpy Toad. Grumpy Toad was never happy. He always wore a frown. But Grumpy Toad was not grumpy today. He said, "These cool blue magic sunglasses make the blues go away. They help you see things in a whole new way." Pete put on the cool blue magic sunglasses. He looked all around. Right on. The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete thanked Grumpy Toad for the cool blue magic sunglasses. He went on his way, and soon he saw Squirrel. Squirrel did not look happy. Pete said, "What's wrong, Squirrel?" "I'm so mad. Nothing is going my way. I only found one acorn today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Squirrel put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Awesome! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete said goodbye to Squirrel and continued on his way. Soon he saw his friend Turtle. Turtle did not look happy. "What's wrong, Turtle?" Pete asked. "I'm so frustrated. Nothing is going my way. I am all upside down today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Turtle put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Far out, the birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, I'm feeling all right. Pete kept rolling along until he saw Alligator. Alligator did not look happy. "What's wrong, Alligator?" Pete asked. "I'm so sad. Nothing is going my way. No one wants to play with me today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Alligator put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. "Rockin'! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining. I'm feeling all right." Pete was rolling along and feeling all right when suddenly he fell back. The cool blue magic sunglasses went crack. Uh-oh. Pete didn't know what to do without those sunglasses. Just then, Pete looked up at the tree. Wise old owl said, "Pete, you don't need magic sunglasses to see things in a new way. Just remember to look for the good in every day." Hoo, hoo. Pete looked around without his sunglasses. Too cool. The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining. We're feeling all right. Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun and tons of fun. But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. Pete had an idea. "Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy. Pete's place. Let's go." The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say goodnight. On went the pajamas and out went the light. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when, clap, clap, clap. "Who did that?" Pete asked. "It was me," said Grumpy Toad. "I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead." Pete covered his head. "This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep." Pete tried again to catch some Z's when, rat-a-tat-tat. "Who did that?" Pete asked. "It was me," said Gus the Platypus. "I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead." Pete covered his head. "This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time to sleep." Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch it was alligator. He was always up for eating. What could Pete do? All the clapping, rat-a-tat-tatting, and munching was giving him the bedtime blues. Pete had a groovy idea. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read, first to himself and then to the gang. Pete the Cat and 10 Little Monsters. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight, time to catch some Z's. Tomorrow was another day for surfing, sun, and tons of fun. Pete the Cat and the Itsy Bitsy Spider by James Dean. One day, while playing outside with his friends, Pete the Cat spotted something cool. "Look!" shouted Pete. "Wow, it's so small," said Gus. "It's an itsy bitsy spider," said Callie. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Pete and his friends knew just what to do. Everyone cheered on the tiny spider. Pete the Cat said, "Try again, itsy bitsy spider." So the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Pete said, "Don't give up yet." They all cheered louder this time. Again, the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain, and Pete and his friends shouted, "Go, itsy bitsy spider! Go, itsy bitsy spider! Don't give up! Believe you can!" And the itsy bitsy spider kept climbing up the water spout. Everyone celebrated, and the spider took a bow. With the help of some friends, the itsy bitsy spider never gave up, even when the odds were against her. Pete the Cat Scuba Cat by James Dean. Pete the Cat is excited. He is going scuba diving. Pete puts on a mask and fins. He has a tank full of air. He hopes to see lots of fish. If you are lucky, you might see a seahorse, says Captain Joe. A seahorse? Says Pete. I can't wait. I never saw one before. Their ridges look like a horse's mane, says Captain Joe. Groovy, says Pete. Pete jumps into the water. Splash. Down, down, down he goes. Up, up, up go the bubbles. Pete looks for a seahorse. He sees a swordfish. Pete swims out of its way. Pete waves to a stingray. It has a long, skinny tail. That's not a seahorse, thinks Pete. Pete looks high and low for the seahorse. Then he feels a tickle. Pete sees a school of fish. They all look alike, except for one. It puffs up. It is a blowfish. It is not a seahorse. Where could one be? Pete looks in the rocks. What is that? It is an octopus. It has 8 legs. It is not a seahorse. Pete feels a tickle. What could it be? Pete turns. He sees a cave. Is there a seahorse inside? Pete sees a crab with claws. A seahorse does not have claws, Pete thinks. The cave is getting darker. Pete feels a tickle. Then he sees an eel. Pete swims past it. It is too long to be a seahorse. Oh no, it is too dark to see. How will Pete get out? Pete sees a jellyfish. It glows in the dark. Pete is almost out of the cave. He sees an angelfish. It is very colorful. Pete is out of the cave. So why is it so dark? Pete is in a shadow. He is in the shadow of a whale. Yikes! Pete wishes he could jump on a seahorse and ride away. Pete hops on a sea turtle instead. It takes him to the boat. I did not see a seahorse, thinks Pete. He feels a little tickle on his tail. A seahorse! Cries Pete. What a surprise! You were with me all along, says Pete. What a cool adventure. Pete the Cat and the New Guy, written by Kimberly and James Dean. It was Sunday, and Pete's friends had come to play. They were rocking to a new song when, beep, 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 there was a noise coming from across the street. Wise Old Owl had a view from his tree. Pete said, "Hey, Owl, what do you see?" Owl said, "All I see are green shoes and a red hat." Pete answered, "Sounds like my kind of cat." Pete could not imagine who this new guy could be. I really hope it's a new friend for me. On Monday, Pete wanted to say hi, but he was feeling kind of shy. So he just rode by and by and by and by until finally Pete got to meet the new guy. Pete said, "I've never met anyone quite like you. You seem like a duck and like a beaver too." The new guy said to Pete, "Hi, my name is Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus." Pete said, "You're not like me, and I am not like you, but I think being different is really very cool." On Tuesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Squirrel, who was playing in a tree. "Hi, Gus," said Squirrel. "Climbing is easy. Try and see." Gus gave the tree a try, but the branch was way too high. "I wish I could climb like you, but climbing is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Wednesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Pete's friend, Grumpy Toad, who said, "Come play. Leapfrog with me. Jumping is easy. Try and see." Gus jumped and leaped, but he couldn't get over Toad or Pete. "I wish I could jump like you, but jumping is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Thursday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Soon they saw Octopus, who said, "Come juggle with me. Juggling is easy. Try and see." "I wish I could juggle like you, but juggling is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Friday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Gus said, "I can't juggle or jump or climb a tree. It's no fun around here for me." On Saturday, Pete hoped Gus would come out to play. "I wish Gus wasn't sad. I wish Gus wasn't blue. I wish there was something we could do." Just then, Pete heard a groovy sound. It was coming from across the street. Gus was rocking to his own beat. Sweet! Pete said, "Check out Gus the platypus. He found something cool he can do with us." Tap, thump, thump. Thump, thump, tap, tap. He's not sad, he's not blue. Gus found something that everyone can do.